What's up, y'all? Rob Anderson with Clean Power Wash. So I just got off of Dan's home service happy hour show, and we were talking about coaches. And I think most of y'all know that I'm getting into coaching. I'm going to be offering services and things through Warplan, and also just coaching in general. I've been doing a lot of that informally for a while, and it's just time to shift a little bit of my focus over that way. And in kind of talking about coaches, how do you decide who do you want to have coach you? Is that program right? And we were really talking about a bunch of different things. And I think, why do you hire a coach? Because you want to speed up your business progress. Because there's something that you want to improve. Because you know you've reached the limit of what you can do without outside assistance. And that's really I got to that point where I hit, it was either 250 or 3 something, that it was like, okay, I'm to the point, one, I could afford a coach, and 2, I really realized that I'd grown beyond what I could just do on, Rob Anderson's just general knowledge. And I needed to be coached to grow to some of those levels and things. And it's not always a specific thing that you're trying to learn, or not necessarily specific, but you may outgrow your coach. If you start working with me, you get to a point where hey, I've got plenty of the sales, I've got the marketing and stuff. I'm really trying to develop, something else. That's perfectly fine. When I was in the Conquer program, I had 3 different coaches. I had Michael Grigory, Josh Taylor, and Chase Lord. And I got different things from each one of them. A lot of them said the same things. A lot of them, there were some things that I listened to Josh more than I did to Michael about. And they may have said the same exact thing. So just when you're looking at it too, obviously you have to have the ROI. You also be able to have to have the actual margin in your business. Now, granted, as a good coach, should be able to make it worth your time pretty quickly, so that you're seeing whether it's necessarily an increase in sales or just an increase in business operations, general growth, more profitability, less turnover, all those different things. Those are things that you need to be able to look at and see, okay, yes, I can get that. And you also have to be willing to listen and apply those things that are being spoken into you. Those are pieces of advice that that coach is giving you. Another really cool thing that we're talking about on the show today is being able to know that I'm not the guy to talk to about bookkeeping. Don't ask me bookkeeping questions other than who would you recommend for bookkeeping? I'm the last guy you want to do your books. I may have some business financial advice, but when it comes down to debits and credits and categorizing expenses and all that stuff, talk to Dan. Talk to Dan's team. We're talking to Ryan Lee was on there, and obviously with the landscape lighting, I can go learn that. I could spend time and energy and go learn it, or I can sign up for that and learn a whole bunch. That's why coaching a training event, a training event is just a really condensed coaching program, or less, it's a lower level of it. I've also been in other coaching programs where, I looked at, I've been in Breakthrough Academy, Bergflow, Conquer, and now I'm with Warplan. One company was really not geared towards the power washing industry, and so when I was in discussions with other companies that were HVAC and painters, our numbers, I'm like this compared to the HVAC company that's this massive company, or painters even, for that matter. True painting company, not just somebody who does a bunch of painting. Another one where I was trying to get involved with, hey, I'm spending all this money. I'd been in Conquer for I think 3 years at that point, and I was trying to develop my team, because you'll get to a point And Conquer certainly tried to add some stuff on, and a lot of other programs try to get to that point where like, hey, we want to make you, your service manager, the best possible service manager, or we need to help you level up your operations or your office or whatever else. Because at the end of the day, if you're super amazing, but the rest of the people around you aren't being leveled up, you're gonna get into a spot where there's either resentment both ways, quite frankly. And you want to prevent that from happening in the first place. I will say that the program that I was in that tried to do that development, I think they were trying to they just didn't do a good job. Plain and simple. They spent more time talking about themselves and their growth and things for their, quite frankly, a small business, instead of, how does a service manager better handle coaching opportunities? How do you become not necessarily a better disciplinarian, but how do you lead better? How do you, build efficiencies in your operations? Those are the kind of things that I had hoped to learn, but we didn't. Anyways, guys, if you're interested and you want to have a conversation about me possibly coaching you, or just even in general about coaching, or just kind of a next step, I'm taking phone calls. I'm doing some good fit calls, trying to see, and not everybody's going to be, make sense for me to be spending time with them, or for them to be spending time with me. There may be some times where it's like, hey, here's a couple things you need to do, and then you'll be to that point. Or, hey, sounds like your mindset's right, sounds like the financials are right, sounds like you've got a good future goal. And I would say that too. Like, what is your goal? Don't just go into coaching or getting coached because, I want to double from 100 to 200,000 in the next couple of years. Well, no, that's you should be able to just spend some more time sales and marketing. And I will tell you this, that's the biggest thing you need to focus on when you're trying to grow your business, is that sales and marketing. Because until you have the sales, you have the leads and the sales and the revenue, having all the other stuff doesn't really matter at that point. So anyways, shoot me a message if you're interested. Hopefully this made you think a little bit more about coaching and growing your business.